Here are my predictions for WrestleMania 41. Now, as a disclaimer, I am a returning fan. I've just started watching WWE again after it went live on Netflix, so WWE Raw specifically. But I'll talk about the matches that I have some say in and what I think is going to happen. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match. Now, this one, going through the promos, it's been interesting to see the whole relationship between Rhea and Bianca, specifically them two, thinking that it's really about one or the other. And Io has been kind of in the background, even though she is the defending champion. And we saw that theme these last 2 weeks, especially with Io kind of putting out there that she feels disrespected because Rhea and Bianca are going at it, and she's the reigning world champion and she doesn't feel like she has that respect. So this was pretty clear for me. I think Io is going to have one of her best performances she's probably had in the WWE at WrestleMania, and she's going to do some crazy moves, high-flying stuff and action, and she's going to retain her title after WrestleMania. I think that's my prediction for the Women's World Championship. Now we get into this triple threat match. Now this one I don't have, since I'm just getting back into the WWE, I don't have a lot of knowledge about the background of these characters and history leading up to this triple threat match. So this one's difficult for me to actually provide a prediction on. What I think is going to happen is Roman is not going to win. I don't think at all. It's about the Paul Heyman storyline as well, between Roman, CM Punk, and then Seth trying to kind of pull them apart. So I think ultimately it's going to be either Seth or CM Punk that wins. I don't know if there's going to be like another party that comes in out of nowhere and just kind of takes Paul Heyman. This one's going to be really interesting. My gut kind of tells me that Seth is going to win. And it's going to really evolve the story of, I think, Roman Reigns, fleshing him out a little bit more outside of Paul Heyman. And then CM Punk, it's going to be more of a CM Punk, Seth Rollins type of thing in the near term, potentially. We'll see how that goes, but that's what I think, is that Seth Rollins, just blind guess here, really, on this one. Now, the World Heavyweight Championship match. This one has been really interesting and fun to see in these recent weeks, mainly because of the whole personal kind of gut punch between Gunther and Jey Uso, specifically with Jimmy. I thought it was really clever, the way they kind of built up this story, in which they got Jay's brother Jimmy out there kind of trying to prove to Jay that Gunther is not this gigantic mountain that you have to overcome, but it's just another wrestler, another human, and very easily beatable. And it turns out that whole kind of personal attack on Jimmy and the way that story kind of elevated with that angle has been really fun to watch, and I think it's a very clear winning match for Jey Uso. I think there'll be some heavy hitters there, and we'll see how the match goes, but very clearly the crowd as well. Every time Jey Uso goes out there, it's been incredible just to watch the crowd, yeet all over the place with Jey. So it's going to be an exciting one. I think this one's a pretty clear outcome, with Jey being the winner. Now, AJ Styles and Logan Paul. This one, I think, I'm actually really excited about this match. I think it should be a really good match. Logan, of course, has a lot of talent as a wrestler. AJ Styles as well, the way he's able to deliver these matches. So I think this is actually kind of an underrated match, I feel like, going into WrestleMania. Also, what I would like to see from a storyline perspective come out of this one is more of a positive outlook toward Logan Paul. Now, like, I personally, I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, but I think from a wrestling standpoint, I think it'd be interesting to have kind of this storyline where Logan kind of realizes that there's more to wrestling rather than just talent and fame and all these things, and AJ is, that traditional wrestler trying to bring this knowledge to Logan, that it's not just about talent, it's not just about fame and money and things like that, which, there's been promos around for this match, but I think it'll be interesting to have Logan turn more into, I don't want to say a babyface because he's not there yet, but more kind of going toward that angle, if you know what I mean, kind of realizing that putting more respect on WWE and the wrestlers in the game, rather than just looking at yourself and thinking you're all that sort of thing. So I think this one here, with the promos and the way it's going, AJ is going to win, but I think it should be a really, really exciting match to watch. So I'm excited for this one. Now, this one I think is going to be the most difficult to predict, except I'm pretty sure that Braun Breaker is not going to come out of this one as the reigning champion. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the other three, either Dominic, Finn, or Penta. They really, in these last promos and these last kind of matches, put Finn out there as someone you need to really take notice of and really be careful of. Him, especially how he took care of Braun Breaker. Penta has a lot of popular voice behind him, a lot of fans pushing Penta, of course. And then you have Dominic as well. It's going to be very interesting how this goes. I think the main outcome of this match is going to be less so of the title, although that does open up some messages around some of these storylines here, but it's going to be more about the group that Dominic and Finn are in. Since I'm a returning fan, I don't remember the group name, but I think it's either going to be Finn or Dominic winning that title, and there's going to be like a Civil War clash within that group, and that's going to be the storyline going forward. But this should be a really fun one. Of course, Braun Breaker brings a lot of that dog energy to him that it's really fun to watch. Dominic is a wild card. Penta is very, very fun to watch as well. And then Finn just brings that athleticism as well. So it's going to be a very, very fun Fatal 4-Way match to watch, I think. And this should be a really good one. Now, Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. I think this one's going to be really, really fun, especially story-wise. I really like how they created this El Grande Americano persona and character very recently and very fast, and it just fit and meshed so well with Rey Mysterio, the Latino, and the luchador kind of culture. It fit in so well. I think the outcome of this is Rey is going to win. Perhaps there won't be a winner in this. There might be some interference in this match potentially with the groups here, but I think ultimately Grande Americano is going to get unmasked. We'll see Chad Gable underneath, and it's going to be like this huge moment in WrestleMania. I think, and watching Rey kind of still work and all the stunts that he does, the high-flying wrestling moves that he still does at the age of 50 has been incredible to watch. I think it's going to be like one of those fun classic matches that we come back to after WrestleMania is over. But I really enjoyed this new character arc of El Grande Americano and seeing that evolve. I think it's a breath of like fresh air and a new character into WWE, and it's been really, really fun to watch. Now, this last one, I think this one is really interesting, and there's a lot of ways you could go with this match. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship belt. This one is going to be absolutely crazy, I think. I think it's going to be hard to predict just because there's so many angles this could go. John Cena could win, Cody could win. I think we will see The Rock for sure in WrestleMania as well. But my prediction here is I think Cody is going to retain that title. And ultimately, the main storyline of the night is that John Cena and The Rock are going to part ways, and John kind of going to look more internally on the way he's been approaching this run and approaching his retirement. I don't think he's going to win the belt here. I don't think it will be a good fit for his character and his persona, really, after all these years of wrestling in the WWE. I think it'll fit more with him kind of realizing the way he's approaching trying to get this historic title. I think it's 18th title, if I have that correct. Let me know if I'm wrong or not. But I think it's going to be more of that, where John kind of has to look internally and say, I've been approaching this the wrong way. You know, let's put more respect on these new wrestlers and this new era of the WWE. I think he'll win the title a bit later on in the year. But I don't think it'll be at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. I think Cody retains, especially with these promos that have been going on. We saw a lot of the crowd behind Cody. You know, his entrance is iconic. I think this will be an interesting match story-wise. We'll see some characters for sure, like The Rock, maybe potentially some others. But I think that's ultimately what's going to happen here. So, just to recap from the beginning, I think Io is going to win the Women's World Championship on this triple threat match. I think Seth is going to win. Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then AJ Styles is going to beat Logan Paul. I think here, if I had to predict, I think it's going to be Dominic that's going to win the Intercontinental Championship. Rey Mysterio is going to beat El Grande Americano, and then ultimately, I think, or I believe, Cody Rhodes is going to retain his WWE Championship against John Cena. But let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff if you like what you saw, and just let me know what you think. I want this to be more of a conversation. I don't want this to be more of a video, so to say. There's not crazy editing or anything in this, but let me know what you think and your predictions for all of this as well. It's been interesting to watch the WWE recently, especially as a returning fan. Maybe I could talk about that in a future video, a little bit more on my experience with the WWE. But I'm excited for WrestleMania and excited for these matches. Let me know what you think.